And one guy who's pretty normal.
What's up?
You suck!
Everything created has some sort of first stage per se. The brainstorming and then actually having the actions to be taken for it to be made. Cartoons go through the same thing, of course, the same process, and then the final result of the process would be a pilot, something to show off the general premise of the idea. Total Drama also followed this process, but before it was known as Total Drama, the original name and idea was Camp TV.
It all happens here on Total Drama Island!
Now, because cartoons take some time to make, yes, even Canadian Flash, surprisingly, Camp TV, as it was known at first, was actually in the making and thought process since 2003 and 2004. Kinda reminds you how old this series is because sometimes I forget. But more importantly, why Fresh TV wanted something like this was just the idea of liking reality TV overall. Just take a dozen of people who clearly wouldn't interact with each other and then just have them in one area. There, that's entertainment essentially. But instead of having actual people they follow around, they said, screw it, let's just make it ourselves. Not really sure how making a cartoon would be easier than just following people, but the main reason was that it would probably take up to 50 to 100 hours of footage just to get one or two things interesting shown on television. So that's why, when Total Drama was made, it just cuts to the good stuff, and the challenges are there to always keep things interesting. Now, when it comes to the concept stage again, not only did the premise had to be updated slightly, but so did the characters. These are the prototype character designs for majority of the cast for the first generation. And from looking at this, it's a good thing that the characters did change to the look we know them as now. Some of them weren't complete makeovers, like with Harold and Trent, they pretty much stayed the same throughout, but others did get completely updated essentially. Now at the same time, and pretty uniquely, is that these designs didn't just go into the trash cans. Not all of them. Some of them still got used. Those interns that we see, or those very obscure side characters that we would see for a brief of an episode or two, those are mostly used from the prototype models of the cast, so that's pretty interesting. Now, design alone wasn't the only thing that was changed. The characters were also changed. And there aren't actually too many major changes. I mean, save for small changes that you could probably tell from Gwen here. She doesn't really have like the goth or emo look that we know her as. She was still just more of the loner type, and then they said, you know what, let's make her a goth. But one of the biggest changes that there was to Lindsay. Yes, Lindsay, of all people, was actually going to be the antagonist. She was going to be the Heather of the show, essentially. And speaking of Heather, that's her. Yeah, right there. Because Gwen's original name was going to be Heather. But then they just took those elements from those two to make the pride and one and true Heather that we know of. Having Lindsay and Gwen be their own thing that we know them as today, and being heavily associated with Heather instead. And the last real major thing was that Gwen and Jeff were going to be a couple, or something of the sort. But of course that got scrapped. But that does explain the one episode in Island where they were kinda together as friends, or building up that friendship, and that was just kind of it. I'm guessing it was pretty much a homage in reference to Camp TV, essentially, for one of their original ideas they had. Also, it really seems that everyone has it out for Trent in this version, but the Cartoon Network executives already seemed to prove that multiple times. Now, once 2007 rolled around, changes were made and updated to give us what we know as Total Drama Island. And after that, the only other time that we see, say, first-time designs for characters or anything of the sort was for the second generation, you know, the Revenge cast. That was out a year or two before the season dropped itself. And just like the first generation, do these designs work? Nope. Now, they're not terrible, honestly, but the final look we do have does help for the characters overall, and it was more of just adding minor things here and there to really make them stand out a little bit more, though I'm not really sure what's going on here, or with this. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's, you know, the first idea for Total Drama. It was Camp TV, and it wasn't going to be as wacky or zany as we kind of know it as today. They didn't, the one trailer or like commercial they had, it wasn't all that, didn't seem all that intense or entertaining, honestly. So I guess that's why they added a lot more to it, just to make it a lot more crazy and stupid, essentially. And oh, we're close to 20k subscribers, and for the celebration I want to have a live stream of fan art for the channel that you guys have made or could make within the time being. So if you want to be featured in the live stream and future videos, make some fan art and try and send it my way and all that jazz. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You know what to do with all the links that I provide. Thank you for watching. That's greatly appreciated, of course. Have a great day, have a great night, and everything else, you know what to do.